What's going on, guys? Today we're doing a tier list for the best things to throw at someone. First is a dodgeball. I remember in gym class throwing this dodgeball at people, and it was always super satisfying when you heard that like ting sound when it hit somebody. It'd be super fucking cool. It was super iconic. If I was given this ball and I was just out in public, I would throw this at absolutely anybody just to hear that sound. This one is, I think, one of the best ones out there. And I also love that if you threw it at somebody and it hit them hard enough, they'd have like the little imprints of the design of the ball on their skin, which I think is super fucking cool. It's like battle scars. Yeah, the dodgeball, I'm going to give an S tier. Next is going to be a snowball. Now, I think a snowball is a pretty good one as well. And depending on how mad you are at somebody, you can, maybe possibly even make this one more lethal. A normal snowball is fine. It's just going to puff and, when it hits somebody and whatever. Or if there's somebody who's really pissing you off, you can, get a rock maybe, put a bunch of snow around it, or maybe put some ice in there, turn that thing into a lethal fucking weapon. Snowball, A tier. Next is a paper ball. It's a good one, but you can't really get too much distance with it. Like, it's a paper ball. It's light as fuck. You throw this thing as hard as you can, and it's going to go 2 fucking feet in front of you. So it's a good short-range weapon, but I'd have to say in terms of, trying to snipe somebody, from across a room, it's probably not one of the best ones there. So I'd give the paper ball probably a D. Next is a paper airplane, which I just think is a more efficient paper ball. It's never going to be like super accurate. I don't know what the fuck it is about paper airplanes. I could throw this thing straight in front of me and the damn thing is going to curve to the right and it's going to go like 10,000 feet, but in the wrong fucking direction. I don't know who the fuck pilots these goddamn paper airplanes, them goddamn microscopic pilots, but they are some directionally challenged fuckers. In terms of where I want the damn thing to go, it's a fucking F tier, but it does get a little bit of distance, so I'll say paper airplane, I'm going to give a D. Next one is a brick. I think this is a good one to throw at people too. If you're pissed off at somebody, I think it's definitely good. The only thing is like you might injure yourself throwing it because it's a pretty heavy fucking object. It's definitely going to do the damage to your subject. I'd say a brick is still a pretty rock solid one though. I'm going to give it a B. Next one is the tomato. The tomato is like if you're trying to make some homemade ketchup, you don't know how to fucking do it. So it's like, hey, stand still. I'm going to throw this at you as hard as I fucking can, and we're going to make some homemade pasta sauce. But yeah, I don't know too much about throwing tomatoes at people. I really haven't done that in the past. I don't have much experience with it, so I'll just put it kind of in the middle, I guess. I assume a tomato would be about a C. Next one's a water balloon. It's not super lethal, but I will say, when a water balloon hits somebody and it doesn't break, it is one of the most infuriating shit fucking ever. Especially when it hits somebody, doesn't break, and then it lands on the ground and breaks. It's like, oh, fucking wonderful. Yeah, my goal there was to totally smack them with a fucking condom. I think the best water balloons, though, are just condoms filled with water. B. I can't fucking make out what this one is. This one looks like wood. So is this like the floor? Throwing the floor at somebody? I don't know what the fuck this one is. F tier. Next one is the foam football. I love the picture that they chose for the foam football here. It's got a bite taken out of it, which I don't know what the fuck it is, but with foam footballs and shit. Every single foam football I've ever fucking seen always has a bite taken out of it. I don't know who's fucking hungry with these footballs and is always like, yes, let me just take one singular fucking bite of this thing. I don't know why. I even have one of these things, and it has a fucking bite taken out of it. I've never bitten into this fucking thing. I don't know why mine has a bite taken out of it. It's kind of like the paper ball, but of footballs. Like, it's a football shape, yeah, but you throw this thing as hard as you can, it's going to go 2 feet. Bite taken out of it and all. It's not great. What is it? Oh, this is leaves. Oh, God, I'm fucking stupid. I thought this was like the person. Leaves are gonna go fucking nowhere. This weapon right here is probably one of the more lethal weapons known to man. It's responsible for more injuries and more collateral damage than the atomic bomb. They might be called flip-flops, but these things, when they are needed to slap somebody, it's like getting smacked with a rubber baseball bat. These fucking things hurt like hell. They leave a mark, and they're a pretty lethal projectile weapon. I gotta give the flip-flop an S tier. Next is an egg. Now I think these can go one of two ways. I think one, you can play it like just a raw egg, and a raw egg works very similar to like a water balloon. And then you can also do the hard-boiled egg. I don't know why anyone would throw a fucking hard-boiled egg. If we're going with a raw egg here, it's a water balloon basically. Next is a pillow. It's super soft. It's not gonna do any damage. It's just not great. I don't know what the fuck this thing is here. It just looks like a fucking box of fireworks candy. You know, I think unless you're throwing like some fucking rock candy at somebody or like a sucker or something like that where you can like maybe stab somebody with it, I don't think you're getting too far with these. Next is a cream pie. Now, if the cream pie is filled with your cream pie, if you know what I'm saying, then I think it would make it an extremely lethal weapon. They wouldn't know that salty surprise was about to hit them straight in the face. If it's not, though, it's still good, I guess. But I'm going to get, if the cream pie has your cream pie in it, it's an S. We don't know that for sure, though, so normally it's an A. Next is the bean bag. I think they're fine. You know, they're not terrible by any means. They don't, like, explode when you hit somebody with them, though, which is kind of a detractor, but I'll give it a B. I don't know what kind of ball this is. I don't know. Either way, this is just balls. Unfortunately, it's not like any ball isn't going to be as satisfying hitting somebody with it as a dodgeball. Next is a teddy bear. Why would anyone throw a teddy bear at somebody? Like, you're not going to do any damage by doing that. I don't really understand why you'd throw a teddy bear at somebody. I don't think this would be good. It's like throwing a pillow at someone. It just doesn't do much. Next is a frisbee. The only negative about the frisbee is that they're so easy to catch. I don't know if a frisbee would be a great one to throw at somebody. We're gonna go with a D. Bread. All right. I mean, it's more food, so I could probably put that with the tomato. No, I'm not even gonna put it with the tomato. The tomato, at least if you can get some fucking velocity into the tomato, the thing's gonna splatter and it might actually hurt. With bread, it's like throwing a fucking pillow again. Jesus Christ. Why would you fucking throw a pillow? Why would you throw something soft at somebody? It makes no fucking sense. If you're going to throw something at someone, you got to have an intent to fucking kill. Like the fucking shoe. God damn. What are some of these options? Next is a batarang. I think throwing a batarang at someone's pretty cool. I've never thrown one, so I don't know how straight it throws or anything like that, but I don't know. I think throwing a batarang's pretty cool, so I got to give that one an A. Next is a Wii remote. A Wii remote is kind of like throwing a long brick, I suppose. I don't know. It's a big plastic brick. The one thing I'll say that's a detractor is it has the strap. If you throw it at somebody with the strap on, the damn thing's bouncing right back to you and it's going to hit yourself in the arm. So it's like a brick, but C. Why would you fucking throw flowers at anyone? Next is a Coke can. Just any bottle or can of pop I think is a really good one too. You got to shake it up first though, because when it hits somebody, it's got to absolutely fucking explode. Like it's a fucking grenade. Yeah, if it explodes and turns into a grenade, it's an absolute fucking S tier. A pop can is a super good one. Phone. This is just an expensive as fuck brick. If you're throwing a Nokia at somebody though, that's a guaranteed death. Next are keys. I like keys as an idea to like use as brass knuckles or to stab somebody with, but to throw at somebody, I just don't know. It's like, hey, these are the keys to my car in my house. Now I'm going to throw them at you. It's like throwing a phone. It's so fucking brain dead, it makes no sense. And it's not even like a phone. Like a phone's a brick. This is like throwing, I don't know, this is like throwing something tiny. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage there. F. Fuck that. Remote's pretty cool. I like the idea of smacking somebody with a remote. And it could be it could serve a double purpose as well. Smacking the remote obviously makes it work when it's not working. So if the remote's not working, throw it at somebody, smack somebody with it, and it's going to start working again. So I think a remote's a really good one. I'm going to give it an S. Next is, oh man, what point do you have to get in terms of like being mad to where you got to throw a chair at somebody? A chair is going to do a lot of fucking damage. It'll probably be one of the heavier items. It's probably the heaviest item on this list to throw, obviously, but the amount of damage that it does is just so fucking great. And if it breaks over someone's head or something like that, that's super fucking cool. Chair is going to be a great item to throw at somebody. Next is a A rope. If you're just throwing a rope at someone, that's pretty dumb. But I mean, a lasso is kind of cool if you're trying to like lasso somebody. Spider. Are these like fake spiders or real spiders? Because throwing a real spider at somebody is just fucking evil. I mean, throwing a fake like rubber spider, that's like throwing a packaged condom at somebody. It's not really going to do a whole lot of damage there. Like 1 XP at the most. It's not a great one. Next is a fish. I feel like if you use it correctly, a fish could be as lethal as probably mom's shoe. I don't know. The fish seems like it's a pretty good one, though. It's also a pretty smelly one, too, so it's like throwing a fucking stink bomb at somebody. Confetti? Just throwing confetti at somebody doesn't mean anything, but if you got like a high-powered fucking confetti cannon, now we're talking. Now we're talking like some fucking shrapnel gun. Like, that sounds pretty fucking cool. So if it's in a cannon, it's pretty good. If you're just throwing it, it ain't doing shit. I'll give it a C, though. So if you're looking for weapons to throw at somebody, this is a good list. If you're doing these bottom ones here, you're not going to do any damage. They're not going to go very far. You're not going to get much out of it. But these top ones here are going to do some damage. I know the brick would do a lot of damage, but it's not good for your arm, I guess, to be throwing that. So that's why I put it at B. If you're looking to do a lot of damage, though, and also hit someone and, not kill your arm, a shoe is probably the best option. A chair would be a good one. But yeah, that's the list.